Well, of course, the Democratic Alliance not being the only organization to warn against a second round of state capture, Dr. Mamphela Ramphele has written an open letter to President Cyril Ramaphosa, and she's suggesting that, in fact, state capture 2.0 is happening under his watch. She joins us now live tonight. Dr. Ramphele, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. Firstly, you begin your letter quite pained to actually even have penned it in the first place, and you talk about the amount of faith that you had in the current president and how that has simply waned over the term of his office.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Yeah, it's painful to watch how the hope that had been kindled or rekindled by President Ramaphosa when he was inaugurated has just evaporated through own goals that he has scored over and over and over again. And at the heart of it, I believe, is that the president doesn't have the courage to tackle this culture of corruption, entitlement, and accountability that is now the culture of the age.
When you talk about state capture 2.0, there are a number of things that you believe characterize this moment of state capture 2.0. And very briefly, I want you to run our viewers through it and why you believe that corruption on this grand scale is still taking place.
Well, in addition to the continuing capture of ESCOM, we have seen a shift to the healthcare sector. Hospital budgets, such as Tembisa Hospital, have become a source of no less than R1 billion. And we know that Babita was killed in a hail of bullets because she dared to raise the alarm as a whistleblower within the Department of Finance in Gauteng. And no one took heed of what she had said or what she was warning the department about. And instead, she died in that hail of bullets. And now we know that not only are those budgets stripped of their capacity to buy basic medical equipment, etc., it's now gone to the point where those hospitals cannot buy food for patients. And then you hear in Limpopo that hospitals that don't have any use for coal have ordered over 200 million worth of coal. Go where? And then you turn around and you look at how in the 21st century South Africa is having a cholera epidemic. That cholera epidemic is a reflection on the neglect of investments in infrastructure, water and sanitation. Every sanitation and purification system in our country is completely out of date because these are apartheid era facilities that were never upgraded. This morning we were reading about the court ordering the Minister of Environment and the Minister Mkhunu to give us a plan as to how they're going to stop the discharge of sewage into the Vaal River. And people must understand, South Africa is a water-scarce country. The only big river that we have, the Vaal River, is now being made unusable because money for infrastructure has been misdirected into the pockets of the erstwhile comrades.
So, Dr. Ramphele, the president could well argue and say, well, services, at least at a government level, are disaggregated. So, yes, collectively, all of these examples point to corruption and potential criminality taking place, but he's not the one making those decisions. In fact, there would be several layers of leadership, whether it's MECs, premiers, before a matter would even rest with him when it comes to the decision-making?
Well, in any well-governed and functioning entity, the buck stops with the head, whether it's a CEO or whether it is the head of a department. The president cannot deny accountability for what happens from the city to province and national. Look at what they have done to the metros which the ANC lost in the last election. They have totally paralyzed Gauteng, totally paralyzed Tshwane, and they are going after Nelson Mandela Metro, which they had under control but mismanaged. So the president cannot tell us that what Listufi is doing with the help of Julius Malema, is something that he has no control over. Then, in that case, he's telling us he's not in control of the country. Then he shouldn't be president. Because to be president is to set the tone and to hold accountable all layers of government, particularly in those matters that are governed and controlled and managed by people from his party. They tell us that everybody within the ANC is deployed. He is the deployee number one. So deployee number one must hold accountable the rest of the deployees. Otherwise, why are we having a president?
When we look at some of the issues that you have raised, are you going to be raising them at all personally with the president?
Yes, in my book, they do. I mean, when the president went to Hammanskraal and said, sorry about people dying, but we are not responsible. It's the DA that's responsible. Excuse me, the ANC was in charge of Tshwane from the time of our liberation in 1994. And the problem that's affecting Hammanskraal is water and purification and sewage systems that have been neglected since the dawn of democracy. Can he really say that it's not us? And
so what do you think he needs to do, Dr. Ramphele? What does he need to do, in your view, to turn things around? And I would even say to convince somebody like you, who clearly has lost a lot of faith, a lot of trust in his abilities, to win that over again?
He promised us to clean up the ANC. So he must take courage in his hand and do what he said he'll do. First of all, he cannot have people who have been found by the Zondo Commission to have been involved in state capture in his own cabinet. He is the one who chooses the cabinet, right? Second, the allocation of resources. The folks, NPA, they're all complaining about not having enough resources. But look at the resources going to the VIP protection services. More than the money that's going to the home. 2 point something compared to 3.2 that's going to the VIP. That doesn't tell me that it's a man who is serious about this, because the finance department consults with the president about how to allocate resources to put forward or to take forward his agenda. The issue of people in his office, I mean, the Palapala example is a shocking example about how can a president have foreign exchange or foreign currency in his property for that length of time. If I were to do that, I'll be arrested for breaking foreign exchange regulations. Why is this okay for him to say, no, I wasn't responsible, I'm not in charge? He said when he first defended the Pala dollars that people must know that he is a farmer. He trades in wild animals. Suddenly the story has changed that no, he's not responsible for the sale of wild animals. So I just see a sad development in someone who had such a wonderful opportunity to get the country to restore its values, this values-based governance in terms of our constitution.
All right.
Remember, he's also the co-drafter of that constitution. So he had an opportunity which he is missing to be Mr. Cleaner. And he cannot blame anybody else except himself.
Dr. Ramphele, we'll leave it there for tonight.